Hello everyone. So in today's session we are going to learn about how we can use our LCD or liquid crystal display to display any visual content, for example our reading, values and etc. in our LCD. So till now what we have done, we have used the serial monitor to display our values. But for example if we somehow we don't have our laptop connected, so we can use this LCD to display values, and we are going to use this I2C so that we can easily interface with our LCD. So if you see on your LCD, you will see that we have this pin holes here. So these are the pin holes which we can easily connect with our I2C. And after connecting with it, you can see we only have these 4 pins. So this is the advantage of having our I2C. So this convert your all this number of pins, that is 16 pins, into 4 pins. Now, you can see in the 4 pins, let me zoom it a little bit. So here if you see carefully, you can see that we have these 4 pins, that is our ground, VCC, SDA and SCL. So these are the only 4 pins which we can use to connect our LCD with my Arduino. Now, if I don't use this I2C, I have to use all these number of pins to connect with my Arduino. So it is also easy to use the I2C. Now, if you see here, we have a potentiometer. By that we can increase or decrease the contrast of our text. Apart from that, you can see we have this connector here, which is used to backlight or turn on our LCD display. Like by default, it is of your yellow color. So if I remove it, it will be like dark. And if I plug it in, it will be like in yellow color. We will see it practically. Now, let's see how we can do it. So for that, we will need our Arduino board, LCD display with I2C, some jumper cables to connect our LCD display with Arduino. Now, here we are going to use a library. So let's see how we can use a library. Then afterwards, we will see the coding of it also. So for that, let's go to our sketch file. And from that, go to include library section. And from that, go to manage libraries. Now, after you click on the manage library, it will open a pop-up window. Here you can see we have a manage library option. Now, inside that, what you have to do, you have to search for liquid crystal underscore I2C. Now what you have to do, just scroll down. While scrolling down, you will see a name, that is, here you can see Liquid Crystal Display by Frank Ramander. So just install this. So as you can see, in my case it has been installed. So after that, just close your library and go to the example section. And below the example, if you scroll down below your example, you will find the name that we have just downloaded. And from that name, you will see we have 3 options. That is custom character, hello world, and serial display. Just open the hello world. So let me show you. So this is your hello world program. Now here, if you see, we have included like this liquid crystal display I2C. Apart from that, this library is by default installed. So if this library is haven't installed in your website or your desktop, you can go to sketch, include library, and then manage library and download this wire.h library. After that, if you see in this line, that is a liquid crystal I2C, you will see the first value that we have, it is your address. After that, we have how many rows and columns we have. So it is your 20 by 4, that is your 20 rows and 20 columns and 4 rows. But in our side, if you see, in our side, what we have, we don't have that much. It is a 16 cross 2 LCD, means it will have 16 columns and it will have 2 rows. So let's change it. 16 cross 2. Okay. Now let's upload the code for first, and then we will see what are the condition of what are the options we have here and how we can personalize it or customize it. Now, for that we need some jumper wires. So let's connect it. So I use 4 jumper wires, that is your male to female. I just plug the jumper wire directly in your I2C. Now let me share you a circuit diagram also so that you can easily see it. But if we don't have the circuit diagram, two pins you can easily guess it from where. That is your VCC and ground. Right? You see it? We have this pin, that is your VCC, and then we have this ground. So this from here, if you see the first one is your ground, then we have VCC, then we have SDA and SCL. So the two pins is clear for us. And let me also show you the circuit diagram. So here, if you see the circuit diagram, that first we have to like connect the power pins, that is your ground and VCC. So let's connect the ground. So ground. Then we have this VCC. So if I do this, it will like lit up or power your. So let me connect the loading cable. So if here you can see, it has turned on all lit up in yellow color. So this is because we have like plugged in this. And if I remove this, you can see it is not lighting up. So it is like a backlight. After that, we have two pins. That is your SDA or SCL. So what you have to do, you have to connect like your SCL with your A5, that is your last pin, and the SDA in A4, that is your last second pin. So this is your connection. That's it for now. Now what we have to do, let's write some code for it to work. So let me remove this circuit. So we have some starting template or code. So what we have to do, just download it. So let me download the code or upload it. Now as our code has been uploaded, so we can see a text written over here. Okay. Let me decrease the brightness here. Okay. Now you can see it. Okay. Here you can see we have some text displaying over here. So now let's try to see how we can edit the or customize the text, write it ourselves. Now if you see over here, what we have, like first we have to initialize our LCD display. So here it is written twice. We only need one. So LCD dot init for initializing the display. Then this is for backlit. Here you can see that we have this yellow color. So if I comment it and upload the code, you will see that this yellow color is not more present, but the text is still displaying. What we have to like see it very carefully. Let me show you. Here you can see. So the text is displayed, but the backlight is stopped or it is not working. Now, after that, as I have told you that it has. Okay, let me first turn on the backlight so that we can see it. Now, as we have already told you that it has 16 rows and like 16 column and 2 rows. Here we have 16. Carefully. Like here, if you see it a little bit carefully, you will see that it has 16 rows. Like here, sorry, 16 columns, and it has 2 rows. Now here, if you see, let me zoom in. So in the first, you can see we have hello world, and in the second, we have this power one. So we have 2 rows and 16 columns from the starting. So in that, we have to first define in which position we have to use. Like so, we have to what we have to do. We have to first define the column like 0, 1, 2, 3, and it is starting from 0. So the first one will be 0, 1, 2, and 3. So like third is your edge. So like that it is displaying. So it will be 0 to 15 here, and for the your rows we have 0 and 1. So let's see how we can do it. Now here you can see at LCD cursor. So first we have defined the cursor at like this 3 and 0. So 3 is your column. So here starting from here. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So we have third value as your H, then E, then double N, then O, like that. And after that we have 0 0 stand for your row. So it is like in the first area, like here, it is in the first row. Then if you see the next text, we have again, like we have to display another text. So we have again switch the cursor. So LCD dot set cursor. Then we have this two. Two means your column. So it is like one before your edge. So if you see carefully, the E is before your edge display, and in your row it is one. So 0 and 1 means it will be in the next one. Then after that, what we have, you can see we have the your row value is greater than 1, means 0, then we have 1, but it is like 2 and 3, but we don't have that much. So these two lines are not displaying.